Gotta clap because the Brendan does it. What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, the PIGNITER. Oh, excuse me, PMC. Hello, PMC. My name is PIGNITER. Welcome to Week 1 Pick'ems. Now, before we begin, my usual partner, Arcanite, due to personal reasons, I will not say. He will not be here this week, but he will indeed be here next week and hopefully forward. As I said, I'm your host, WMAR, and also, hold on, I have to say this before we also begin, that Moxie boosted drops and Arahpthos, if I butchered your name, sorry, took over, which explains the change of logos in the last matchup. So week 1 has been a little crazy for me personally, because looking at all the matchups, it was kind of hard to pick which people are going to win, because most of the people, I don't know their battle styles, but I did watch the videos from their past and made sure I know, I've learned their matchup. Who of course does not know Borussia Donphans? If you know GBA, you of course know him. Now, my job here will be to go through each and every matchup, why I think, and whatever coaches send me notes, how they feel about the matchups, and why they picked what they pick. Just gonna say this: absolutely no one left me any notes, if I believe so. But I do have notes here that I put myself that it took me a while to put. And it took me a while to calculate and also check the Pokemon they have and all that such. So, week 1, it was mostly Borussia Donphans due to the fact that, Borussia Donphans, Lars is an amazing player. We all know this already. He's in the GBA, and his run in GBA went about 7-3 or somewhere by there. I think he went 8-4 in the final, before the season ended. But we all know that's a phenomenal record, and we're lucky to have it in PMC. Now, here's the reason I picked the Donphans. The Russian English. The Donphans has an amazing team overall. The Dallas Starmies lack a reliable Dragonite switch-in, and once Dragonite sets up, there's nothing the Starmies can do. The Donphans do struggle a bit with Mega Altaria, but as long as Run of Heat is alive in the match, Altaria is no issue. Look at the matchups, right? As I said, Dragonite does a number to his team. Dragonite is one of the Z captains, so it's pretty obvious that in this matchup, the Z captain will be the Z mon for this match will obviously be the Dragonite. Scizor can indeed revenge every mon, he can revenge Altaria with a little chip. It revenges Krookodiles. It 100% defeats Noivern. Low kick can bop the Heatran knockoff, plus low kick can defeat Chansey. The Scizor cannot beat the Buzzwole, though. That's the other issue. So on and so forth. The Dragonite just has a really great matchup in this match, I feel. It just runs through his team. Unless he has, unless the Starmies bring, a Scarf Greninja to revenge +1 Dragonite, there's something the Starmies can do. Coverage on Dragonite is so phenomenal. I feel he can run, I don't think Dragon Claw is needed since it really only hits the Noivern, but he has a Slurp Up for that anyways. He can run moves like Iron Head, Z-Fly for the Buzzwole, Stone Edge, Earthquake, Dragon. It does suffer for moveset syndrome, but he's only bringing 6 members, and I feel like he's not gonna bring the Starmies are not gonna bring the Alolan Golem. Because it has a bad matchup, and it cannot, the only niche I see Alolan Golem doing is if it's a Scarf set, but it will have to be it had to chip the only job he can do is chip Cobalion. So I I, I think the Borussia Donphans have this one, and the rest of the coaches agree, but the Flying Bird, he feels he has confidence in the Dallas Stormies. The next matchup, this one is between Jspecks and the Carolina Pyroars versus the Garchomp The God versus and Lawrence Talonflames. I am not good with English. I am so sorry. So the four of us picked Lawrence Talonflames because the Pyroars' real Coco answer is Cresselia, which means they have to bring her or Coco runs through. The Talonflames do struggle with Landers Incarnate, but as long as they make the right plays, he won't have an issue. Now, as I said, that was from my notes. There's no real switching. I was gonna say Tangela, but then I just remembered it gets Sludge Wave, so he could deal with Tangela very effectively. He barely has any switches. I mean, Mega Aerodactyl does count as a switch-in, unless the Pyroars run Rock Slide just for that. But I feel like that's too specific of a. I feel like this too specific of a move just to deal with that one Mon, because he does have more Mons. Like, I feel like he has to run like moves like Sidekick to deal with stuff like Wheezing and not the Incineroar, the Halucha unboosted, Earth Power because its main stab, it just breaks through his team unless it's named Wheezing or Aerodactyl, and that's basically it. He can. I feel like the Savali typing, it's a little bit of a mixed bag. He can run Savali Fairy, but that's not going to do much. Though it does check Incineroar and Halucha. It does not check Incineroar or Wheezing. He could also bring, he could bring like Ghost Savali for the Ursaring, because Ursaring is really, really an underrated threat. So that's the thing, but the Coco Lucha, it's just one broken core. We all know this. If you play the OU ladder like I do, I barely play it, but I'm smart enough to know Coco Lucha is the one broken core. There's no way to stop it unless you have like a flying type. Well, a flying type that can eat +2 acrobatics, because he can easily set up on a fortress or he can set up on a fortress basically, or Keldeo with the right EV spread, since he doesn't have to run max speed to outspeed his opponents. Like, he has Unburden, and Halucha has really high base speed. I feel the Talonflames have the matchup here. Now, the next matchup is the Mastodon Gastrodons versus the Poliwags, Portland Poliwags, coached by Bronson. Based on the matchup, we all mainly agree that the Gastrodons have this one. Overall, Mastodon's an amazing player, and his team is extremely threatening. The Poliwags struggle with the combo of Kieran plus Manaphy, as they both break through his team. Now, even though the Kieran Black is the Z, Manaphy is still a threat. Once he takes out Fable and Snorlax, Manaphy can basically run through his team. He also has to take out Volcanion, but most those Mons have one thing in common: they get bopped by Kieran Black. So, and Kieran Black and Manaphy, like, yes, they get dealt with by Mega Gallade, but Mega Gallade is easily countered by Reuniclus, and Mastodon Gastrodons can easily run a Colberry to deal with that. Since its only move is like knockoff or Night Slash, it's gonna do less damage anyways on Reuniclus, even at +2. Reuniclus can deal with Mega Gallade easily, and then revenge with Decidueye with Shadow Sneak. The Mega Gallade is no issue whatsoever. Now, he's gonna have trouble with setting up rocks, because not setting up rocks, getting rid of rocks, because the Poliwags' only real removal is Rotom. Because you're not going to use Volcanion as a defogger. And yes, Volcanion does get defogged, and Masquerain gets defogged, but you're not using Masquerain. Masquerain has a bad matchup in this game. You can't. Masquerain is just a bad Pokemon in general, in my opinion. So, and he's not gonna bring it. And somehow, Masquerain is a Z-Mon instead of Rotom, but that's beyond the point. And also, Mastodon Gastrodons have an Archeops, which the Portland Poliwags have trouble dealing with, unless he uses a defensive Bronson spread, in which the Archeops can run Heat Wave. It has really good offensive stats, being 140 and 112, if I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it's like 112, something along those lines. I feel the Mastodon Gastrodons have really solid matchup in this game. So the Portland Power have to make some plays, or the Gastrodons have to like choke one of their in the match in order for the Poliwags to win. So we're gonna have to hope. I think I put a lock on the Mastodons. I could be wrong. Who knows? The next matchup is the LA Duckletts versus the Thundurus. Now, I choose the Thundurus. Not, I'm keeping all my bias aside because some of these are my friends, but all bias aside, the Thundurus has the combo of Mega Wild Hoopa. I feel the Mega Wild Hoopa is too much for the Los Angeles Duckletts to prepare for. Team preview, I feel the Duckletts cannot prep for both and will indeed struggle with. And with great plays, the Thundurus can easily pressure the Duckletts to play or prep that causes stress in battle. The Duckletts have huge pressure since he has there's no switches in this entire league for Hoopa and Mega Mawile. Those two just run through teams like it's nothing. There's no switch-ins. Bring them in safely, bop, they get destroyed. Unless you have a coverage move that's strong enough to OHKO them. Or you have U-turn. Thunder, but the last Irish Duckletts do have the Landorus, Therian. Though it's not a Z Crystalmon, it's Circuitry. Landorus can indeed run through the Trenton Thundurus' team. With the right moveset, it can just 6-0 sweep. If the Thundurus don't bring the right Pokemon. The Thundurus, I feel, have to bring the Gliscor in order to deal with the likes of Landorus and Entei. Entei is also a mon that the Thundurus have no switch-ins to. Like, if it's the right moveset, it could be any of the Pokemon. Extreme Speed, I feel, is not needed in this match. So, and he could bluff. It's easy to bluff that he has Extreme Speed just by making it shiny. Just make it shiny, and give it like HP Ice because it has decent special attack, and it can run through his team very, very easily. Now, it gets revenge by Lycanroc Day if it's low health or doesn't do much damage, but like it could do work. And besides, the Duckletts have Veil. Veil plus Landorus makes it easy for Landorus to actually set up the sweep. Not to disinclude Mega Scizor. Mega Scizor can also run through the Thundurus' team. Well, it has to outspeed Serena, but Serena is not switching to Scizor anyways. Now, if the Scizor's weakened, he doesn't have to worry about Serena, but I don't think that's gonna hurt in the long run. So, joining the Thundurus, I feel, has to bring the Gliscor, but he does have that team building pressure that is Hoopa on Battle plus Mega Mawile. So I feel that's why I feel like the Thundurus is gonna win. The next matchup is the Los Angeles Cosmogs, right? I feel like I butchered that. The New York Cosmogs. I'm so sorry, Phantom. Don't cut me in the comics. The New York Cosmogs versus the Jersey Weaviles. This matchup was a little toss-up for me because I was just looking. Both have amazing teams. They both have amazing matchups against each other. Like you bring this one counters it, and so far so forth. And it's just and besides the Cosmogs have the Stunfisk the God, so and there's like they probably have a toss up and matchup wise. But then I look closely at their defensive cores because I look at their offensive and their defensive cores, and I feel like the Cosmogs have the upper edge. They have really good defensive core with Metagross, Coolfish, and Blissey. Um, and hold on, let me read. I'm gonna read the notes that I have for them. I forgot to read the notes. Like I said, this is a toss-up. They both have great teams, so it was hard to choose. But ultimately, I picked the Cosmog due to the amount of defensive backbones and decent set of sweepers this man presents. Now, the Cosmogs have an issue with the combo of Zygarde and Raikou. The Cosmogs barely have a switch to 1,000 Arrows. His 1,000 Arrows switching is Whimsicott. And Whimsicott's not bulky, but it does well. And also, Raikou kind of also runs to this team once the Blissey's weekend. And the Cosmos only have one switch in the Specs Moonburst, being Metagross. If you think Mismagic is a switching, you're wrong. Scrappy Boomburst does a number. But I feel confident that the Cosmos can pull it off. He has a great he's like two very fast mons, one Megalopony and Weavile. Both of those mons can easily pressure the Jersey Weaviles team. And I don't see a switch to normal fighting other than Tentacruel. Well, it's not Tentacruel. Now, he doesn't have much for Megalopony as it is. His two, he can run like Scarf Infernape, I suppose. But the Cosmogs have a Suicune just for that Infernape. And Suicune also kind of checks decently well against Zygarde. But and Suicune can run Rest Talk, Calm Mind. It can run the standard Krookune to beat the Tentacruel. Or it can run Vincoon. Who knows? But I feel the Cosmos do have the matchup in this game. And I hope Stunfisk actually does work if he does indeed bring it. Next matchup is the Crystal Pallossands versus the Pittsburgh Empoleons. I am so sorry. Unprofessionalism as all damn. I'm trying to be PG. Alright. So this one was another. I'm gonna read my notes. This one was another toss-up. I was so close to picking Empoleons. Just the fact that Empoleons have so much, but just the fact that Pallossands have so much bulk with the combination of Mega Venusaur, Jirachi, and Sylveon core, I feel like there's no way the Pittsburgh Empoleons can break it. Zygarde 50 does not do anything to Mega Venusaur, and it just gets bopped by Sylveon, even behind a sub, since Hyper Voice does go through subs. The Empoleons, I feel, don't have much for a Lycanroc Dusk. He does have Zygarde, but it just does so much work against his team. Also with Ninetales, by the way, I do appreciate the fact that Pallossands got Ninetales, no Sun. Well, not a Sun team, but he has Ninetales for Drought. I appreciate the fact that he also made it his Z-Crystalmon, because personally I do love Ninetales as a sweeper. So, and the Empoleons really struggle really bad against this Ninetales. There's no switching to a Fiery MZ. His Fire switching is Typhlosion, but he cannot bring Typhlosion this match. It just has a bad matchup versus the rest of his Pokemon. It doesn't do anything to Jellicent, doesn't do anything to Lycanroc. You have to be like Scarf and Solar Beam. You have to protect him to bring Ninetales, and it's just not worth the team slot for this matchup. So I feel the Pallossands have the great matchup in this. Great offensive threats, great defensive threats. overall grow bulk. He has the webs in Galvantula, so but he does have to worry about lead Mega Diancie since Mega Diancie doesn't indeed have Magic Bounce. So we're gonna see what's gonna happen now. Oregon Duckletts versus Sydney Krookodiles. This was near, no, not even near. This was 100% unanimous. We all believe the Oregon Duckletts have the upper hand against the Sydney Krookodiles. I'm going to read you my notes. The, we feel the Oregon Duckletts have a matchup. As I said, Steela and Zarg X Core does a huge number to the Crooks team, and +1 Zard sweeps when the Crooks team is weakened. Now, yes, he does have a Quagsire, but the Ducklets have a Roserade to pressure this, and he has a Dillo, but Dillo would have to be scarfed and be locked into one move, and the Dillo and the Megazard can run the moveset to be walled by the Milotic. Like, it doesn't have to run Thunder Punch. It could run Crunch, and Crunch is not even bad in this matchup as it is. It could deal with the Delphox. It could deal with the Slowbro. And Zard just does a number to this team. We just kill the Quagsire, weaken the Slowbro a bit, weaken the Umbreon, and Zard could just run through. Now, he does have people Scolipede, so he has to make sure he's at a good enough range so he's not defeated by an Earthquake from the Scolipede. But the Oregon Ducklets, we all feel Zard just runs through this man's team. He has Tapu Bulu Skarmory. That's not Wally at all, Zardax. It just bobs by Flare Blitz. We all feel the Oregon Ducklets have the upper hand, and nothing. I don't think anything could go wrong as long as the Oregon Ducklets have another. They must play right and all that. Sorry for my English today. It's raining outside. I kind of just woke up, and now the Colorado Rapidashes versus the Melbourne Stormthrows. This was also unanimous due to the fact that we feel they have a great matchup. Mimikyu has no switch-ins on the Stormthrows team. Just weaken the Mega Aggron, remove Amoonguss, Bop. Mimikyu can just run house. There's actually no switch-ins, and he is free to go +2 unless it's on Amoonguss. You don't set up on Amoonguss. Just don't. Nor on Mega Aggron. Like, there's a Linoon right there you can set up on for free. Because to set up on the Tapu Fini, you can't get status under the Misty Terrain. You can also set up on Run and Wash because, as I said, the Misty Terrain can be up. Now, and also to the fact that Latios is not even a threat at all. It's checked by Regice and Lantern, funny enough. And those are two underrated mons. Now, are we going to see a Scarf Lantern this week? We never know. We just feel the Rapidashes overall have the better matchup, and I don't feel less confident in the Rapidashes. And I guess that's it. Yeah, that's it for now. If you guys did enjoy Week 1 pick'ems, make sure you tell us below what you guys think will win the matchups. If you guys want, you guys could put the pick'ems on the below. Hopefully my co-host Arky, or the main host of the Pickups Arky, will be here next week. I am fairly new. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to say that. So I feel like Jspecks will bark at me. If he does bark at me, But if you guys want, as I said, put your pick'ems down below. I want to see who you guys think will win based on the matchups. If you guys don't know the teams, we will have the links to every coach in the description so you can watch their draft analysis and see what team they have. Now, I am your boy WMAR, and I'll see you on the bright side.